So, we are making a, what is this, a holiday porter recipe? Is that what it is, Dave? This is going to be probably the biggest batch of beer that I've made so far. Not volume-wise in beer, but definitely just volume-wise in grain. I've made a couple 10-gallon batches, but I don't think I've ever mashed 20 pounds worth of grain. So, this should be interesting. Probably get mash in here. Our brew pal said to be at roughly about 165 for strike water. I think that's a little bit low, to be honest. Our strike water is usually at about 170. We wind up with a mash right around 152 for a mash temperature. This smaller bucket here, I actually kind of overshot our temp, so we're kind of letting it cool down a little bit before we actually start mashing. Mash water here. So there's always a debate. It seems like I've read 4 or 5 books. Some books say always grain to water. Some books say always water to grain. I think we may have reached the or are going to reach the limit, the capacity of our mash tun here. It's like 20 pounds of grain is going to be about where it is, which is cool. This is going to be a 6-gallon batch. OG is hopefully going to be up in the 1.010 range. Give us hopefully a finished product of something in the neighborhood of 8-9%. Check the temperature real quick. Brilliant. Right around 150. All right. It now be time to start. Definitely a 2-man job. That's what she said. All right, so we are done mashing, and first thing we're going to do here is just kind of get our grain bed settled so that we filter out pieces of the grist or grain. And you do this just by running off, I don't know how much, 3, 4, 5 pitchers of this maybe. This is actually looking really clear for a first run, so I think this was in some book that I read. Tip of using a lid like this, and it's basically just keeping that liquid from going straight down into your mash there and disturbing your grain again. What we're kind of doing is we're almost like making a kind of a pancake shaped piece of grain in here, and that grain actually filters the hot liquor that you're getting out of here. Alright, so we got our sparging setup going here. We got 5 gallons of water in here. It's about 180 degrees. We didn't really have too much room for a mash out in here because of the volume of grain and liquid we're working with, so we actually started drawing off the bottom here already. We went ahead and filtered the grain bed. So what I'm going to do here is, it looks like we actually did drain out a couple gallons. I'm going to go ahead and do kind of a mash out here and add some hot water to this. Try to do it in the middle here, and what that's going to do is it's actually going to thin out the sugars that are in our mash here, and it's going to kind of help to rinse the grain. Of course, as the liquid gets hotter, it's the soluble sugars in it will become less viscous and easier to draw off the bottom here. So there's a lot more water than we probably actually need in here, and that's fine. I'd rather have too much and then have an extra at the end that I don't use than run out of water halfway through a sparge. So let's see here, we're looking like we're probably can cut this off here for a little bit and kind of continue to drain from it. I just kind of feel up here temperature wise to feel how much water I've drained in. Probably slow it down and wait till we can actually see our grain bed before we start adding more water to it here. Our target is about 8.5 gallons before our boil. So just thought we'd get a quick shot here of the sparge and kind of see the grain bed here. We're basically about an inch off of that grain bed. We have the same amount of water coming from our hot water tank up here. We got it basically set. This is a fly sparge setup that we have right now. Same amount of water is coming out of here and going into this tank. As you see the grain bed there. Kind of hard to see with this camera, but it's about an inch or so of water. Then this is draining out of there and into here. And that's going to be what we're going to boil up here. So the trick with a fly sparge is you want to have the same amount of water going in as you have coming out. Burner lit here. This is actually a turkey fryer burner. But works great for brewing beer.
Okay, well, we got 30 minutes left in our boil. We're going to add our 4 cinnamon sticks, which smell amazing.
Yes.
Into our boil. Guess I'll just plop them in here.
So it's always good to double check your recipe. Just to clarify, the cinnamon sticks are going to be in the boil for about a half hour. So,
and then orange. Orange goes in with 10 minutes left. Ginger and honey at the knockoff.
Yep.
So. Okay, we are now at 10 minutes left in our boil. These are Saaz. Is that how you say it?
Yep, Saaz.
Saaz hops for the last 10 minutes.
Okay.
So the whole thing's going in of Saaz.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice crisp flavor.
Our orange peel.
Yes. Beautiful.
Orange zest. 2 ounces.
Full.
Smells great.
It does. This is kind of the exciting part, spicing the beer here. Ooh. Pretty much smells like Tang.
Yep. Okay, we are at the end of our boil. We're going to add our orange blossom honey, 2 pounds of it.
Got a tool there. Does it smell orangey?
Yep.
I don't know if that's the beer or the honey, but there's probably going to be a pretty prominent orange flavor in this beer.
Now time for our final extra ingredient, ginger.
And we're knocking out the flame. As soon as we add this ginger, we're going to take this off of the stool here and put it down below and let it steep.
This is 2 ounces of grated ginger. So we've knocked out the flame, as John said, and we're going to let it steep for about 20 or 30 minutes until we cool it with our wort chiller.
Alright, we're chilling this down. We're getting ready to stitch our yeast. So we got our wort chiller here. It's all nice and sanitized.
We'll turn it on.
We are pumping hot water out of this end, which was once cold water.